Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 6th of May in 2020, and today we are going to talk about fictional texts. Because in your tasks for this and last week, you already dealt with fictional texts in your books. You read 2 fictional texts or the beginning of fictional texts. And today I would like to talk to you about fictional text in general. Also allgemein erstmal über fiktionale Texte reden. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do today. In the right upper corner you can see the information for today. First of all, we talk about fictional texts. What are fictional texts? Then we will talk about genres and, well, some of the genres maybe you like and the books that you read. And then, last but not least, we will talk about three important topics when talking about fictional texts, which are suspense, character, and atmosphere. So, let's start with fictional texts in general. And my first question for you is, what are fictional texts? So take, I would say, 5 minutes time to think about this and write down a short definition, short definition, what you think fictional texts are. Also bitte auf Englisch mal aufschreiben. What are fictional texts? Let's go, 5 minutes. Okay, your 5 minutes are up. Let's take a look. I will just take a minute here and wait. So you can write in the chat what you think fictional texts are. Maybe you can write some bullet points. What are fictional texts? Bitte einmal in den Chat einfach mal schreiben, was ihr denkt auf Englisch. Ich warte mal kurz, ob ihr eine Idee habt. Okay, anscheinend habt ihr im Moment noch nicht so viele Ideen, beziehungsweise schreibt einfach noch nicht so viel. Deswegen werde ich euch das jetzt einfach mal schreiben, was fiktionale Texte überhaupt sind. Let's take a look. What are fictional texts? Well, fictional texts are texts that deal with unreal events. So the events that happen there are not real. Okay, Lara says about an introduction. Das verstehe ich nicht ganz, was du damit meinst, about an introduction. Can you explain what you mean about an introduction? So I wrote down that fictional texts are texts that deal with unreal events. Okay, so they're not real. And who creates this fictional text or this reality that isn't there? Of course, the author does. Okay, so the author creates a reality that isn't actually real. Oh, wait. Let's do it like this. So the author creates a reality that isn't actually real but invented by him or her. And that means that it's fictional. In Deutsch fiktional. Also nicht wirklich, sondern ausgedacht. And of course we can say that fictional text can be novels, can be short stories, can be comics, any kind of text that is not real, that is made up by an author, can be a fictional text. Okay, novels, by the way, novels heißt ja Romane. Das ist auch das, womit wir uns so ein bisschen beschäftigen wollen. Also Romananfänger habt ihr ja gelesen. Okay, and of course we can say that there are different genres. for fictional texts. Can you think of any genre and write it in the chat? Bitte mal Genres auf Englisch in den Chat schreiben, die es geben kann. Ich warte mal, was ihr so dazu sagt. Genres. What genres do you know in fictional texts? Fantasy, yes, good. Anything else? Yes, crime, sure. Romance, yes. We could also... Oh, horror, yes, of course. Well, we can maybe also say science fiction. Yes, maybe one more. Western. Maybe you know some westerns. But of course, you can say there are probably a lot more genres, especially subgenres, also so Unterkategorien gibt es ja wahrscheinlich unglaublich viele, die man noch auflisten könnte. But this should be enough for now. So now I want you to write down 3 reasons why people read fictional texts. Da reichen Stichwörter, so bullet points is enough. 3 reasons. Ihr könnt die erstmal für euch aufschreiben und dann bitte auch mal in den Chat und dann würde ich die auch aufschreiben. Ich gebe euch mal 4 Minuten Zeit. Oh, mystery. Yes, that's also a category or a genre. We can write it down. Mystery. Okay. So what do you think? Why do people read fictional texts? Can you tell me what you think? People can discover different new worlds, something they're not used to. Yes, of course. Yes, that's a good reason. So they can see something different from reality. Good. Okay, anything else that you think is the reason why people read fictional texts? Maybe you can say, it's just a nice way to pass time. So maybe when you're bored and you want to do something, then you just read a novel, for example. Or maybe one of the reasons that is, well, quite often the case is that, well, people like to escape reality. Okay, so maybe they are bored in their reality, or they are not really satisfied in the reality. So they like to escape into some fictional text and imagine what the world there is like. Oh, it's exciting. Yes, of course, you can say that it's exciting. Sure. And maybe also that happened to you before when you read a book that people can relate to a character. Okay, so maybe there's a main character in a book and you can relate to it. You think he or she is like me, and the things that happen to him or her are the things that happen to me, and that's why it's interesting. Okay, one more thing that I also thought of was that maybe sad stories or scary stories make people realize their own fortune in life. So they realize that their own life is good and nice because they read a sad story and they feel good about themselves. Okay, good. Well, if you can think of any more, just write it down. I'll give you a minute to think about it, and then we will go on. So write down if you have any more reasons. Okay, so if you can't think of any more reasons, let's go on. Now, oh wait, hold on. Now I'd like to know what is your favorite genre and why. So write down your favorite genre and just some bullet points or some words why you think this is a great genre. For example, I can tell you that I really like to read crime novels or crime stories. Why? Because the suspense is good and I like to guess who might have done it, so who the killer or the thief is. And I can feel like a detective, so that's nice. Yes, so these are the reasons I, for example, like crime. So now write down in the chat as well, what is your favorite genre and why? Okay, so what do you think? You didn't write anything. Maybe I can give you some ideas. For example, you can maybe say you like romance. And why would you like romance? Maybe it's nice to feel happy and it's just a happy story of two lovers. Oh, Yo-Yo said something about crime. Hold on, I will write down romance maybe. To feel happy. Let's see what Yogi Yo-Yo, I don't know who that is probably Johannes, I would guess. You like crime because it's a combination of excitement, adventure, and action. I always fascinated of the stories, and I often try to guess who is the murderer. Yes, good. Okay. I can add this here to the crime. You can say that it's a combination of excitement, adventure, and action. And the stories are fascinating, okay. Nice. And you try to guess who is the murderer. Yes. I said that too. I like to guess who is the killer or the thief. Good. Okay. So maybe someone who, let's go to the romance, someone who likes romance, likes to feel happy. And maybe you can dream about your own life and your own romance in life. So that would be, some reasons if you like romance. What about if you like science fiction? Let's think of that. Science fiction. Why would you like to read science fiction? Maybe it's fun to think about things that don't seem possible right now. So maybe it can show us what the future could look like. Of course, it's science fiction, but maybe the future can be something like a science fiction novel. So that would be good to think about. Yes, so it may show us some kind of future or maybe some kind of past as well, that a past that we don't know about, and we can dream of things that might have happened in the past. Okay, and one more genre. Let's think about horror. Why people like to read horror stories. What do you think? Why do people like to read horror stories? Maybe you can give me an answer in the chat. What do you think? Well, the things that I thought, well, maybe it's fun to be scared when it's not real, of course. When it's real, it's not so much fun. But when you just read about it and you know it isn't real, it can be really fun to be scared. And maybe also it makes you appreciate your life. So you are really glad. Yes, it's exciting. Yo-Yo says, of course it's also exciting. I can write that down. And also, like I said, it makes you appreciate your own life. Appreciate heißt wertschätzen. Also du weißt jetzt wieder, was dein Leben wert ist. And maybe some people like the dark atmosphere. Yes, good, Emma. Some people might like it. Okay, good. So now that we thought and talked about some genres, I would like to know which books you have read lately, or maybe we can also say what are your favorite books. Please write it in the comments. What have you read lately, or what is your favorite book? For example, I can tell you I really, really like to read Harry Potter. That's an all-time classic, I think. J.K. Rowling really wrote a good book there, and I read it when I was younger, and I still like it a lot today. Okay, Yo-Yo says I like the book Top Secret. Top Secret, I don't know this book, but it sounds fun because it already sounds exciting. Is it a crime story? Yes, it is a crime story. Okay, sounds interesting. Let's write like this. And Emma says my favorite book is Nacht über Frost Hollow Hall. What would be the English title of that? Let's look it up so I can write it down. Okay, in English it's just called Frost Hollow Hall. by Emma Carroll. Okay. So, but the last one I read is Unter dem Zelt der Sterne. Okay, habe ich beides noch nicht gehört. Can you tell us what genre these two books are? Frost Hollow Hall and Unter dem Zelt der Sterne. Okay, anything else that you read lately? Well, if no one wants to say anything more, that's fine as well. I thought it would be just interesting to see what you read. But let's go on with 3 important words when talking about fictional text. Oh, Emma says, I think Frost Hollow Hall is a horror and fantasy, and the other one is romance. Okay, good. So you've got lots of genres that you read into. That's nice. Good. So let's finish up this lesson by talking about these 3 words: suspense, characters, and atmosphere. Now I'd like to write down what these 3 things are and why they are important in fictional texts. So what makes them important and what is interesting about it when reading fictional texts. Also bitte einfach mal auf Englisch versuchen hinzuschreiben, zu erklären erstmal, was sind die 3 Sachen, was machen die 3 Sachen aus in fiktionalen Texten und ja, was wisst ihr einfach darüber? Was denkt ihr über diese 3 Sachen? Suspense, Character and Atmosphere. Einfach mal ein paar Stichworte aufschreiben, was ihr darüber denkt. Let's go. 5 minutes and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's start with suspense. What do you know about suspense? What is it? Maybe how is it created? Why is it important? You can write down anything you know about suspense. And while you write it down in the chat, I will write down a little definition from the Macmillan Dictionary about suspense, what suspense is. So excitement or worry that you feel when you are waiting to find out what has happened or what will happen. So this is the definition from the Macmillan Dictionary about suspense. What can you tell me about suspense? Well, if you don't have any ideas what Stadt was? I don't understand this. What Stadt was? Can you explain that? Yes, a fictional text would be boring without suspense. Yes, that's good. That's a good thing. Yo-yo, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. I can also say, find out what has happened. Anyway, since we don't have that much time left, I can just tell you some things that I think are important. For example, or one thing that is important in my opinion is that suspense is created to hook you. Okay, so you want to read more. So in a lot of books, suspense is just created so you keep on reading the book. And Now I would like to collect some things that will help to create suspense. Okay, so how is suspense created? Little mistake in the first sentence. Excitement or worry that you feel when... Da ist ein kleiner. When you are waiting to find out what has happened or what will happen. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there another mistake? Find out what has happened or what will happen. Ist noch ein Fehler drin? Also ich habe jetzt nur den einen bei you gefunden. Ah, jetzt habe ich's. Oh. Danke, Jojo. Jetzt stand ich aber auch auf dem Schlauch hier, ne? Naja, kann auch mal passieren, wenn man so vor dem Computer sitzt und es einfach nicht sieht, den Fehler. Okay, danke. Ja, alles gut, jetzt habe ich's. Okay. Now, suspense is created, for example, through unexplained or unexpected happenings. Or maybe characters you want to learn more about. Also ich schreibe jetzt einfach mal ein paar Sachen auf, die manche Autoren machen, um Spannung zu kreieren. Okay? Or maybe you get some hints about the past or future, but you don't know yet, or you have a lack of information. Or maybe you have a cliffhanger. Maybe you heard of that before in movies or TV shows, but of course this is also important in books or novels. Cliffhanger. Or you have some problem situations that need to be solved. And of course also strong and dramatic language can create suspense. So all these things can create suspense in novels, and of course a lot more. These are just some examples. Okay, we don't have that much time left. Let's go on with the characters. What are characters? Of course, characters are the people that are in a novel or a short story or anything like this. And they are invented, of course, by the author. Okay. And in a fictional text, you of course often have a main character, also eine Hauptfigur. Okay? Maybe it's one person, maybe it's two people. Two main characters can also be in a fictional text. Person with special features, yes, of course. That are or we can also say character traits. not what I want to... Wait. Traits. Sure. Also Charaktereigenschaften. And what else can we say about characters? Well, sometimes people identify with the characters, and that is often the reason why people keep reading the book or the novel, because they like the main character or they can identify with him or her. So that's often the reason why people like certain books. Maybe you have made some experience as well. When you don't like the main character in a book, often you don't like to read the book as well. But often you really want to learn more about the characters. Yes, you want to know why they act the way they do. You want to know about their past. You want to know what will happen to them. Characters. Julia says creatures with special features, also like Nessie from Loch Ness. Well, but I wouldn't say that that is a character. That's a creature. Also ich würde da schon noch unterscheiden zwischen Charakteren, also wirklichen Figuren, die sprechen und handeln können, oder Kreaturen, die jetzt nicht interagieren können wie Menschen. Natürlich können Charaktere auch andere Kreaturen, also es müssen nicht Menschen sein natürlich, ne? Das können auch andere Fabelwesen zum Beispiel sein. Aber ein Charakter in einem Buch oder eine Figur in einem Buch würde ich trotzdem so beschreiben, dass er menschliche Eigenschaften wie Sprechen, Handeln, Denken und so weiter hat. Ansonsten wäre es nur eine Kreatur. Okay, last one, really quick. Let's go to the atmosphere. What is the atmosphere of a novel? You can say that it's the mood or feeling that is created through the text. So you feel some certain things when you read a text, and that is the atmosphere. And how is atmosphere created? Often it's created through the 5 senses. So the author uses some or certain assumptions about what you taste, what you see, what you smell, what you hear, or what you feel in order to create a special atmosphere for you. So what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you feel, and what you taste. But also the setting of a story adds to the atmosphere. So where is the story, or where does the story take place? Oh. So, for example, if the story plays in the woods, or if it plays in a big city, or if it takes place in a small apartment, or wherever, okay? So the setting plays a big role in the atmosphere. Okay, and that's everything I have to say for the atmosphere. So these three things are really important when you read and analyze fictional texts. Ich kann euch schon mal sagen, in Zukunft, also in Deutsch macht man das ja auch schon eher, im Deutschunterricht, aber auch im Englischunterricht wird es immer mehr so werden, dass man auch fiktionale Texte analysiert, untersucht. Und dann sind eben diese 3 Punkte besonders wichtig, ja. Spannung, Charaktere und Atmosphäre. Wie sind diese 3 Sachen gestaltet in einem Text? Do you mean the senses of the characters? No, I don't. No. I mean the senses that you have when reading the book. So when you read a book and a smell is described and you can smell this yourself. Also, ich meine damit die Sinneswahrnehmung, die du hast, während du den Text liest. Also der Leser oder die Leserin, ja. Wenn man also diesen Text liest und da wird ein wunderschöner lauer Sommerabend beschrieben, an dem es nach frisch gemähtem Gras riecht und der Regen liegt in der Luft oder irgend sowas. Und du als Leser nimmst diese Sinne auch wahr. Das heißt, du kannst dir genau vorstellen, wie es riecht, ja, wie es aussieht, wie es sich anfühlt. Das meine ich damit. Und das ist halt, also gute Bücher machen das so, dass du wirklich diese Sachen auch fühlen kannst. Und dadurch ist die Atmosphäre ja für dich kreiert sozusagen vom Autor oder von der Autorin. Gut. Das war ja jetzt so ein bisschen theoretisch. In euren Aufgaben sind natürlich diese Sachen, die ich jetzt besprochen habe, an Textbeispielen gemacht. Das heißt, an diesen 2 Anfängen der Romane, die ihr im Buch habt, ja, die ihr also gelesen habt, die Anfänge und da mal geguckt habt, okay, wie ist da denn schon Spannung kreiert? Nur in den ersten Zeilen wird ja schon vom Autor oder von der Autorin Spannung kreiert, damit man überhaupt weiterlesen möchte. Wie sind die Charaktere beschrieben? Wie ist die Atmosphäre und so weiter. Das sollt ihr euch ja mal an diesen Textbeispielen angucken. Ja, ich hoffe, ihr konntet heute ein bisschen was draus mitnehmen. Jetzt aus der Theorie habt ihr so ein bisschen mehr verstanden, worum es geht bei fiktionalen Texten, warum wir uns das auch angucken. Wie gesagt, später werdet ihr auch fiktionale Texte noch mehr analysieren müssen und auch in Englisch sozusagen beschreiben, was die ausmacht. Und deswegen üben wir da jetzt schon mal ein bisschen. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, let's call it a day, and I wish you a very nice week and have fun doing the exercises and all of the other exercises from other classes, and I hope I can see you soon again in school. Have a nice day. Bye.